Every week after getting on the air on this weekly show, Sunday, 6 p.m., Get Down to Business, I'm just overwhelmed. I'm wiped out because there's so much advice and information that's available from friends like Andrea Storz of the Ark, who's joining us next. We've got lots of great guests on this show this week, sharing advice and information with you. So we talk on this show on Get Down to Business a lot about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship, but jobs is an important issue. Andrea Storz from the Ark, thanks for joining us on Get Down to Business.
Hi, Shalom. How are you?
Fantastic. So, Andrea, from the job seeker's perspective, let's jump right into it.
Okay.
People sometimes get desperate and they start to, they need a job. And they need a job and they start looking online. They start applying for jobs and they apply for jobs on Indeed.com and on Career Builder and on every single site. And they wonder, why aren't they getting a response? Andrea, what do you think it is?
Well, first of all, the unemployed as well as the underemployed, there are a lot of things going through people's heads when they start looking for jobs. First of all, there's fear, there's desperation, there's also anger. And when people start to look at job copy, looking at the job copy itself is a very strategic process. And I don't think people understand that. And the key to all this is to stay focused. You got to stay focused. You know, there was a survey done recently that found 44% of job seekers claim they spend 1 to 5 minutes reading job descriptions before deciding whether to pursue them. And they've also found that job seekers look first at the job title, then the company information, and then at the details, such as salary and recruiter information and all that good stuff. So I think if the job seeker were to sit down with himself or herself and assess themselves and figure out what it is exactly they're looking for, and also to take a very in-depth inventory, and this can be very brutal sometimes because you have to be honest with yourself in terms of not only what your skills are, but if you can use them in a productive way to improve situations at a business that you're applying for. It's the overall culture of the company as well. So,
we're talking with Andrea Storz from the Ark. Andrea, the advice that I'm hearing you say is to job seekers, slow down. Slow down. Don't just shoot in the dark. Don't just go in a million directions.
Exactly right.
Focus.
It's exactly right. And, you know, I deal with a lot of people, a broad spectrum of humanity on a daily basis. And I love when clients come in and they say, you know, I don't understand it. I sent out 400 resumes this month. And I'm thinking, well, that's a problem. You know, you have to have enough respect for yourself, and you have to have a strong professional identity in order to keep your search focused. When you apply for the wrong job, you're not going to get called. Applicants spend the most time reading the job description, which is about, I'm going to say 26 seconds, and then the company's description, which is about 23 seconds. And then, in addition, what happens is that the job seeker tends to skim the job description rather than read it really closely, analyze it, approach it in a strategic manner. And listen, when you're out of a job or you're underemployed, it's very hard to remain rational. When people don't see a salary, they immediately assume. I know a lot of my clients, they paint a whole scenario before they even send in a resume. So I think you're absolutely right, Shalom. You hit it on the head. Slow down. Start to regain the respect you've always had for yourself as a professional, and refamiliarize yourself with what you bring to the table.
Andrea, you know what? HR departments, I'm not sure if people think that they're stupid. They're not, because they have to do it. They're going to skim through, and they're going to see immediately a glaring indicator that you don't fit here. You're not the right person.
Right.
So why don't job seekers sort of slow down, focus, apply for the jobs that really might be the right fit, and then if it's good fit, maybe you'll get an interview. Sometimes, you know, the HR department will say, hey, maybe not at this time. You don't have the exact requirements. You don't have the exact background that we're looking for right now. But because they have your resume for a company that very well might be a good fit down the line, they'll keep that resume on file, and then maybe an opening will pop up. But by just applying and just by going in a million directions, it's not going to work. And so I guess my advice is to both business owners that are out there and to job seekers that are out there, focus when you write your job description, focus when you write your resume. So important, Andrea. We've got just about a minute left. Do you have a quick 10-second tip for employers or for job seekers?
I think you've summed it up beautifully. I think you have to focus, you have to slow down, you have to have respect for yourself. But I also want to slap the hands of the employers. Like, just simplify. I think employers very often go over the top with description. A lot of job copy is not well written. It's very confusing. So on that end, I think they also have to clean up their act. But the job seekers, slow down, and focus. Make sure you apply to companies and organizations that will appreciate what you bring to the table rather than go, what are they talking about?
Andrea Storz, how can people reach you?
They can reach me at 847-917-4141. They can also reach me at adms6135@aol.com.
Thanks, Andrea, for joining us on Get Down to Business. As always, great advice for folks in transition looking for opportunities. You're listening to Get Down to Business, and I'm your host, Shalom Klein. After the break, more small business.